What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of American Truck Simulator. Today I am going to be getting out here with my brand new truck that I just picked up a little while ago. This one is a Volvo VNL. This is the day cab version. I'll go ahead and jump into third person, give you guys a look at it. The color of all of my fleet trucks that I run are black, so that is why this one is painted black. But I went in here and decked this thing out, got a lot of upgrades on it, made it look really good. And I'm going to be taking it out on a trip today. So I do have a job already picked out that I'll be taking. Let me go ahead and jump in here and let me get this thing started up. We have 0 miles on this truck. This is the first time we've ever started this thing up. So we do have to go drive to our location, which is only 3 miles away, to pick up our job, which I'll explain as we get over there. Anyway, guys, you probably heard my audio sounding a little different, and that would be because I am using some different audio settings for my microphone. Trying to streamline my my workflow for editing videos, and changing how I do my audio is something that I'm gonna do to possibly make my editing a little easier. But big thing is noise gate. I wanted to get that perfected, and I played around with OBS a little bit, and I found some cool noise gate stuff, and I transferred it over here to Audacity, and it worked out pretty well during some testing. So anyway, we got to drive 3 miles to get to our location. On the road with the new truck.
Turn right.
So this truck is going to be one that we use for short trips, long trips, anything that's not heavy duty. So I do have my Peterbilt 579 for the heavy duty stuff. That's what we'll be using. So
use the right lane, then turn right.
Anyway, for this trip, we are going to be transporting gasoline. I forget where I'm transporting it to. I'm going to go and see if I can get through this yellow light here. There we go. Yeah, so we're transporting gasoline today.
Turn left.
I believe we are heading up to come to a quick stop here, and we're going to have to wait for this SUV. And we do have some drivers in our fleet who are getting their work done. Looks like one of them just leveled up. I will jump in here real quick before I start this job and change their what they're training. So, all right, we are pulling into our job site here. We're doing a job for Gallon Oil, towing gasoline. I do need to remember where we're going. It's not a very long trip, though. I don't think it's about 600 miles if I remember correctly. But we're gonna go ahead and go into the freight market here. And we are towing gasoline, or is it gasoline or ethane? Which one was it? I think it was ethane. Well, I guess that job went away because it was a completely different job that I was gonna do. Oh well. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and tow some ethane out to Oxnard today. I really don't feel like doing an 858 mile drive through California. Speed limit sucks as it is, so we're gonna go ahead and tow ethane from Tucson here to Oxnard, so I'm gonna go and take the job. I believe the initial job that I was gonna do for this was towing gasoline out to somewhere in Nevada. I think it was Tonopah. Oh, and I don't know if this is the right way to get back here to get this this tank we're going with. Oh, it is. It's right down there. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get ourselves ready to do this. I might have to pull up a little more. I'm gonna go into first person while I do this. Go and shift into reverse. Since we have a day cab, we have an easy view behind us here. And we'll just use that instead of third person. And we'll go ahead and attach the trailer. And we are good. Let me shift into drive here. And we are attached and ready to go. We are off towing some ethane out to Oxnard. With the brand new truck, I'm excited to take this thing on the road, put some miles on it. I'm a fan of the sleeker, newer style trucks, if you couldn't tell. Because almost every truck that I own is is like a newer style, so kind of like this style. Sleek, new design. But I believe I do have a Kenworth W900 in the fleet now.
In
One of my
200
drivers is
meters,
using that.
Turn left. Turn left.
Yeah, I got a new add-on down at the bottom. I mainly use it for my fleet drivers, and I almost pulled out in the intersection there. That was nice. I'm mainly using it for my fleet drivers, so I can see when they complete jobs, because I don't want them to just train one skill. I want them to, balance their skills, and I like to manually select which skills they train. So you can see I'm pretty broke because I bought this this truck, and we can actually see our remaining mileage in ETA at the bottom as well, so I won't have to jump to the map in order to figure out how long it's going to take for us to get there.
In 200 meters, turn right.
But this job is just under 11 hours,
Turn
it
right.
looks like, so I'm not going to be stopping to sleep. I'll just be driving straight through. And we are getting on the highway now. I love this trailer. It's not going to be very difficult to turn with it. We have to merge here.
Use
Let
the
me make
left
sure we're
lane.
good. We are clear. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of pedal to the metal. And I don't know why I turned my blinker off there. All right, we're on the highway. Speed limit is 65. We are not going to be going 65. We'll probably go 60 at the top. I'm
Continue
gonna go
straight.
ahead and hit my cruise control here. I'm gonna go ahead and bring it up to 60 miles an hour, and we'll just let the truck take itself up there at this point. Beautiful day out here today.
Use the left lane.
I did turn my my weather probability for rain up in the settings because I think rain is wonderful. Even though the AI drive like crap in the rain, they slow down. Like, honestly, in real life, they would. I love driving in the rain. It's a whole new dynamic. I'm so used to driving in the sun. I'm gonna be sitting center lane here until they force me to take an exit or something. And I gotta get used to how this truck rides in the lane here. I gotta figure out where to put my steering wheel. I usually base how I drive, or base this, I guess, the center of the lane where my steering wheel is, so that's how I used to say center in the lane, but it looks like I'm, looks like this is pretty good here, actually. So kind of just to the left of the center of the lane is where I want to stay, is where I want to keep that steering wheel, so. I also changed my steering wheel sensitivity settings for my controller, so my steering wheel isn't as sensitive. But it kind of still is a little sensitive for these little adjustments I'm making. We do have some road work up ahead. I'm going to go ahead and slow down a little bit. I don't know how the lanes are going to get affected. I just missed the sign that said how the lanes are going to get affected. Yep, I'm going to go and slow down here. This engine is very quiet. Looks like... Do we need to get over? No, we don't. We can stay in this lane. They're doing some road repairs over here. Dumping stuff out of that dump truck. There's that guy working hard. Yep, they're doing some road repairs. I'm going to go and speed up here because apparently people are going faster than me here. Get back up to speed. Speed limit is now 75. I'm gonna go ahead and bring my cruise up to 65 just as soon as I reactivate it here. which I'm going to go ahead and do now. We'll bring it up to 65 miles an hour.
Use the left lane.
However, this bus has decided to get over. Oh dear, what happened here? What is this? Oh my gosh, that is a glitch if I've ever seen one. What the heck happened to that truck? It is freaking cab in the ground. I have never seen that before. That was absolutely freaking creepy. I was like, what kind of road construction are they doing here? It's not road construction, it's a freaking truck that turned into a mining truck, decided to just start digging down into the ground. Well, I've never seen that before. That was kind of interesting. Speed limit, crude speed is at 65, so I'm just gonna let this truck take itself up there. Looks like we got a little bit of rain clouds off to the left there. Unsure if we're going to get any rain on the trip, though. It would be nice if we did. I like driving in the rain. Drink, drive, and lose. True statement. So yeah, I'll be using this Volvo truck a little bit more often, seeing as a majority of the heavy-duty jobs, I guess you could say, are long distance. Also just leveled my my driver up, and I have the maximum long distance proficiency upgrade thing, whatever you want to call it, so I can drive anywhere now. I can do any distance job. Considering the fact that we don't have very many states to work with, it's kind of pointless to have right now, but as we get more maps, it'll come in handy. As the maps grow, as the US grows bigger in terms of the map size. Probably gonna be getting over, oh no, that's, kind of tipping a little bit here. I was about to say, we might have to get over and pass this bus, but it's getting off this exit, it looks like.
Continue
and before
straight.
it pulls down in front of me. No. I've had AI do that before, it's freaking stupid.
Use the left lane.
Use the left lane. Looks like we're going to be staying on, is this 10? So we're on 10, going west on I-10 here. Go and slow down, we do have a turn coming up here, and as we saw just a minute ago, I kind of tipped a little bit, so I'm going to be very careful. I don't know how this truck handles. I've never really owned a day cab in this game, so it's like Martin P just earned me a $3,200 profit. Thank you, Martin. Get the cruise reactivated. Going through a tunnel here. Let's grab some third-person footage of the tunnel and not run out of my lane. And then we're already running out of the lane, so I'm gonna go back to first person now. Looks like I'm going to be going with a Thrustmaster set. From what I've read, the quality of the Logitech, especially the G920, the quality of that is a lot better than the Thrustmaster. It feels real. But the one thing that I'm reading is that the Thrustmaster provides a lot better force feedback, and it's a hybrid force feedback. It's a belt and a motor or gear or whatever. And the G920, which would be the one I'd get if I went Logitech, is just gear. This is a helical gear, and some people say it's noisy. Hit or miss from what I've read, so. I believe we just passed Phoenix. heading west on 10. Just hit 4 p.m. Crossing the river. Ooh, swerving off the road. Let's see if this truck can make it up to 70. I'm gonna go and bump the cruise up 5 miles an hour here. And it looks like it is making its way up there just fine. We're in 13th gear, which is our top gear. Highest we can go with this transmission we're using. And we're at 70 miles an hour now. This is a good cruise speed here. We got some, there's the hot air balloons off to the left here. I'm gonna go and just get a brief look at it. I don't want to run out of my lane here. Maybe they'll show up in the mirror here when we drive by. And there's Luke P. Yeah, there's the hot air balloon in the mirror, and then it just rendered out. Yeah, my fleet drivers make me a lot of money. I'm getting to the point now where I don't really need to do any more jobs because they make me a lot of money. As you can see, I started out this video I think with like $15,000 or something, or 23. I don't even remember what it was. And I now have $41,000, almost $42,000. Do have to keep an eye on our fuel, which I need to find my fuel gauge on this dash. I believe it's at the bottom right. Yep, it's at the bottom right corner there. And I also have it on the tooltip bar down at the bottom, but I'm going to be focusing more on my dash gauges. And it looks like we're coming up on some slower traffic, so I'm going to go ahead and signal to the left lane here. I'm going to go and get over. Chances are I'm going to be getting back in the right lane though, because we're not coming up on them too fast. We're making pretty good time. We've shaved off about 8 minutes from our original ETA, so we're doing something right. I think the ETA is calculated based on the current speed limit. Oh, there's a bus. Good thing we got in the left lane. We would have had to have gotten over for that bus. There's a plane off to our left. Nice. I'm gonna go ahead and try to stay in my lane. That's why I really want to get VR or IR tracking so I can look around while I drive. I would need a wheel and pedals for that though, or at least a wheel. So I'm gonna go and sit in the left lane here. I bet there's a lot of angry drivers behind me. But as far as I know, there is no, there's no law right now, at least in this part of the route that I'm driving, that says I can't be in the left lane. Looks like we're passing the exit for Yuma, which means we are getting close to the California border at this point, and the speed limit for the truck is going to drop to 55, and I am not going to be happy because I'm going to be increasing my trip time because of that. Looks like Yvonne just made me some nice money. Gotta love those fleet drivers, they make you good money. It just takes a little bit of time for them to level themselves up, get the skills they need to make that money though. But once you get those guys leveled up, holy cow, they make you a lot of money. I'm gonna go and turn on my running lights here, which illuminated my dash panel gauges, which is amazing. We got Amazon Prime trucking over here. A nice trailer. I'm thinking, oh, I probably need to be in the right lane here. There's going to be a way station coming up. As soon as I pass this truck, I'm going to go and get over to the right lane. As I was saying, I'm thinking about doing a Black Friday special for this game, towing an Amazon trailer. I know it sounds kind of stupid, but I think it would be a fun thing to do. I'm gonna go ahead and pass this truck, which seems to be slowing down. Maybe a precursor for, or no, we're not coming up on Yuma, excuse me. We're coming up on Ehrenberg. We just passed Ehrenberg. I'm gonna go and get over now. And that sun is kind of blinding me a little bit. It's kind of hard to see. Oh, imagine if this game got ray tracing support. Alright, we're in California now. We're gonna have to slow ourselves down to 55 miles an hour. I'm just gonna go and use my service brakes for that. So we're at 60 now, and I'm gonna go ahead and hit my cruise control here. We're at 56. I'm gonna go and bring it down to 55. And this is the speed we are gonna be locked at until we make our delivery, because it is 55 all day, every day in California. But yeah, as I was saying, the ray tracing, like look at this light. This is DX11. This is, I guess you could say, vanilla graphics. I'm not using any graphic mods. The vanilla graphics and the light looks actually really good. But imagine ray tracing. I would have to get a new graphics card. I don't think the 1080 Ti has ray tracing support. As far as I know, it doesn't. Could be wrong though. But my 1080 Ti is still trucking along. I have no intentions of replacing it anytime soon. It's got a warranty on it, so if it fails, I will warranty it out and get a new one. And we're slowing our speed down a little bit as we're going uphill here. We have 265 miles to go. We will be there at 11:40 p.m. We've actually shaved off 20 minutes from our original ETA, which is amazing. We're actually making really good time. I thought that the 55 miles an hour speed limit was going to actually reduce that, but it seems it's still dropping. It's kind of jumping between 11:40 and 11:39 p.m. right now. And we have a very, very quiet engine. I don't like how quiet this engine is. I might put a Cummins in it, because the Cummins audio is actually really good. I have that on my my Peterbilt, which I did in the previous video. I think the engine I'm running right now is a Volvo engine. I forget which one. I believe it's the 4... I don't think it's anything in the 400s. I think it's like a 350, 365 horsepower engine. It's not a very powerful engine. This truck is not going to be done, or not going to be used for heavy loads. It's going to be used for both short and long distance loads. But it's going to be for, like, you know, just generic stuff, kind of like what we're towing. We're towing ethane. It's not a very heavy load we're towing, so we'll be towing reefer units, we'll be towing trailers, just about anything we can get our hands on. So it is just about 7 p.m. At about 7 o'clock, I'm going to go and turn my headlights on. It is getting dark out. Sun hasn't fully set yet, but it's starting to. And 55 is actually a really good speed. I would imagine in real life a truck going 55 miles an hour like this would probably be getting the best fuel economy ever. Pretty much just about every car out there between 45 and 55 is when it gets the best fuel economy. And my truck, which is a F-150. It gets crappy fuel economy to begin with, but the best I've been able to do is at 70 miles an hour on a highway trip. I've been able to get 18 miles a gallon with air conditioning. Or without air conditioning. 17 with air conditioning, 18 without. So I'm gonna go and turn on the headlights now. We do have a beautiful setting sun in front of us. Look at that. That is beautiful. It'll be set real quick here. Probably within the next 2 or 3 minutes, it'll be dark out. And I'm kind of drifting a little bit. I gotta get, I'm gonna go and slow down here. There's a CHP. I didn't see that guy coming. Need to pay a little more attention to the road. Although his lights weren't on, so. Go and hit the cruise control again. I just hit my, a camera keybind or something there. But yeah, there's a mod I'm running. Whoops, I'm kind of swerving out of the lane. There's a mod I'm running that allows different cop cars, like different liveries on different cop cars to be in here. And I think that vehicle was one of them, because it's like a lot of different models of cop cars. It's like that one that just passes as a Ford Explorer. They have Crown Vics, they got Dodge Chargers, I've seen the Ford Police Intercept Utilities, which would be the Taurus. I haven't seen Chevy Tahoes yet. That would be awesome if they had Chevy Tahoes in this game.
Continue straight.
And we have a somewhat of a beautiful view of the setting sun here. As soon as we get through this bridge, we should have a relatively uninterrupted view of the setting sun. Beautiful. Look at this right here. Looks like a bomb going off in the background. We have just under 200 miles to go on the trip. 3 hours 52 minutes game time. Very peaceful. We haven't had any problems, except for way back in the drive. We had that random truck that was like in the ground. I still do not know what the heck that was. That was absolutely freaking incredible. Pretty much just going to be a nice, peaceful, calm drive the rest of this time. The sun has set below the horizon. It is now just going to be getting darker and darker out. I need to find the center of my lane and hold it. Holy cow. We've got LSW who just finished a job and leveled up. I'll go and show you guys my fleet here real quick. We go and go to Driver Manager. These are all my drivers that I have here. I have... If you include me, I've got 18. But if you don't include me, I have 17. But these are my drivers. As you can see, they're making pretty good money for AI drivers. Obviously, I'm making more per mile per day and all that good stuff because I'm an actual player. But LSW just finished a job. He does have a Kenworth W900. Like I was saying, there was one driver that I had that is using an older style truck. But he just got his hazardous cargo license. I'm going to go ahead and work him on fragile cargo, which is going to be this one here. I usually try to either get 2 or 3 long distance upgrades. And this one, he came with a fuel economy one, which is a plus, even though it really doesn't matter. I mean, I make enough profit to cover the fuel costs, but... then we've got some of my higher level drivers, like we have Ian. This is Ian. Working on just-in-time delivery for the next upgrade. And we've got Luke. I always call these guys brothers. They were my first 2 drivers, and I did not intend on having them have the same last initial. Same with Yvonne, but yeah, these are my drivers. Just-in-time delivery looks like we're working on the 3rd level of that, but those are my drivers. They make good money. Most of them are driving the T680. These are all day cabs. We got a couple 579 day cabs. Most of them are pretty spread out. I have a couple of, actually 3. Holy cow, I didn't realize I had 3. These international LTs are mod trucks. I decided to throw a mod truck in. I'm not a fan of putting a lot of mods in my game because of stability reasons, but I'm gonna go and jump back into the drive here. But yeah, that's my fleet. Had a little bit of discouragement when I first started it up because the drivers weren't able to find jobs, but there's really nothing you can do about that. You just have to let them do their thing. Long distance definitely helps. But I think the one thing that I really don't like about them is that they're limited to their return journey. They can grab a job in their home city wherever they're at, wherever they're stationed. But when they need to return, like they take a job, let's say Tucson is one of my garages. One of my drivers, and we just have another one level up, I'll change that here in a second. One of the drivers can get a job in Tucson and they can go to, let's say, Redding, California or whatever. They can drive out to Redding with the trip, and they are limited to returning back to their stationed garage. So they would have to get a job in Redding that goes back to Tucson or Los Angeles or Phoenix or wherever I have garages. So I kind of like that, but I also don't like it because I would like the drivers to have the same freedom that I do, that they can go wherever they want. But I also don't want this game to be super easy, so... Anyway, I'll level that guy up after the video. I don't want to waste any more time on this. Looks like we're coming up on an exit to take us to Carlsbad. We have 135 miles to go on the drive here. We're still going to be getting there around 11:20. I'm going to go ahead and get over here. This box truck is driving a little slow. I'll go ahead and turn my blinker on to get over, and as soon as I get the room to do so, which I do now, I'm going to go and get back over. I'm going to stay in the center lane. As you can see, we have the right lane goes away because there's an exit on the lane.
Use the left lane.
And we are using the left lane. We're not going to, where is this taking us here? San Diego. South of San Diego. We're not going to San Diego. Here we are losing speed on the uphill. Definitely going to look into putting a new engine in this thing. Another thing I want to do is I want to build a custom paint job for my trucks. I do have a paint job already built for my Peterbilt 579, but I have not been able to get Mod Studio to work. The new version of Mod Studio. I think it's Mod Studio 2 or something. I have not been able to get that to work. And I know exactly what the problem is, I am too lazy to fix it. I have to go download some netcore for it. But, I have it built for my 579 stand-up sleeper. So chances are what I might do is I might take all my drivers that are driving Peterbilt 579s and I might upgrade them to stand-up sleepers. Or I could build the livery for my day cabs. But I put about 3 or 4 hours worth of work into it. It looks really good. I'll definitely showcase it in another video once I fix the problem with getting it put in the game, I guess you could say. And just after 9:15 p.m., we are 100 miles away from our destination. We are going to be staying in the left lane here. Speed limit is still 55. I technically really don't need the signs to tell me that. And we might be getting off up ahead. I don't think we're going south.
Use the right lane.
Yep.
Then take the exit.
We're gonna have to go ahead and get over. I'm gonna go ahead and start slowing down here. Oh, yeah, we gotta slow down drastically. Getting on 5 north up to Bakersfield. I don't think we're going to Bakersfield though. And we have a CHP officer. This is one of those mod vehicles, I guess you could say, because he's pulled over with that guy.
Use the left lane.
I'm gonna go ahead and take a look. We are clear to go. I'm gonna go ahead and merge into traffic here. And we are back off. Gotta get the speed of the truck back up to 55. I'll go ahead and manually get it up to around 50, then I'll hit the cruise control and let it do its thing. And we'll go ahead and activate the cruise control now. And it looks like we have a
use the left lane.
Another exit up here. However, we are staying in the left lane. One thing that I really wish the GPS would do is give you a more advanced notification on where you're going. Most of the time, when I get notified of using the left lane or the right lane or whatever. It's when I'm coming up on an exit. I would like to know a lot more in advance if I'm taking an exit or if I need to stay in, like, for example, the left lane. So, for example, let's say, you know, Oxnard, right lane's up ahead. I would like to know, like, 5 or 10 seconds before the GPS just told me. I would have liked to have known that I needed to use the left lane. I just think we should get a little more advance for what lanes we need to take. Sometimes it doesn't even tell you until you're, like, literally right there. But visually, I do have to pay attention to the map because that does kind of give it away a little bit. And also paying attention to the signs. If I know exactly where I'm going, I can use these street signs. But paying attention to the GPS and using these street signs is helpful. I'm going to go and turn on my brights here, just briefly as we're coming up here on this cross traffic. Wants me to get into the right lane here. Again, I don't like being in the right lane because it's an exit-only lane. Here we are coming up on Oxnard, which is where we are going. So they want me to use the right lane. Gonna go ahead and signal. I'm gonna go and start slowing down. Actually, go ahead and use my engine. Oh, I just shut my lights off. Crap. Hang on a second. Whoops, what did I do? What button did I hit? Oh, I hit L. I was gonna hit,
Turn left.
Okay, I gotta get my buttons figured out. I'm sitting here trying to figure out what I did wrong. I was trying to hit, my engine brake, but for whatever reason, I went over to L, and that is the light keybind, so I turned off my lights. That was a little scary. Please do not pull out in front of me, dude. Thank you. Holy cow, I would have not have been happy if he had done that. We've got the Korean War Veterans Memorial Highway here. I'm gonna go and turn on my brights. Whoops, just kidding, I'm not. That was a cop. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my cruise control and let the truck do its thing here. Speed limit is 55, so I don't have to change anything. I just have to manage the brights. And we've got 30 more miles to go, now 29. About 40 minutes left in the drive, so we're getting fairly close to our delivery. So, before the next video, I'm going to take this thing down to a dealership, and I'm going to be putting a bigger engine in it. Something with more horsepower. I think this one's running 365 horsepower. I want something more like 450. So if I could put an engine in that has a little more horsepower and torque, I would be happy. We got a vehicle coming, so I'm going to shut off the brights. Got a cow crossing sign. It'd be cool if they had cows actually trying to cross the road. Well, that wouldn't be cool. It would be interesting. And looks like we're coming up on a gas station. I was about to say we're coming up to Oxnard, but we still have 17 more miles to go. So we have a gas station here, and we have half a tank of gas left. So we've gone through 100 gallons at this point. Go ahead and turn my cruise back on, center my camera. There's our smart cruise kicking in. I'm gonna go ahead and slow down now as we do have a turn coming up. I probably should have looked in my mirror before I got over, but there's no one behind me.
Turn right.
Not for a ways. Oh, I got a turn here. Whoops. Alright, looks like we're 6 miles away. We're gonna be delivering to Chems at this point. And there's probably not going to be very many people on this road, so I'm going to go ahead and turn on my brights here. This is a risky business because I'm controller driving, and if someone comes around the corner, I have to go quickly shut off my brights, but we're driving right up to Chems here, so I don't think we're going to have to worry about any drivers on this road. And we're coming up on our delivery. I'm gonna shut my brights off. Speed limit is 25, which I am actually going about 22 right now.
Meters, turn right.
There's CHP all over the place.
Turn right.
All right, we are going to be pulling into the chems delivery area now. I'm gonna try not to hit this fire hydrant. This trailer is very easy to maneuver. So we have our delivery point somewhere in here. Got to figure out where that is. If we have to do some fancy trailer maneuvering, I would not have any problem with that, because this thing is actually fairly simple to maneuver. But it looks like we're just going to be able to pull this thing right in, and we'll be good. So I'm going to go and pull off to the left here so I can get a wide turn. And we should have a simple delivery. If we have to maneuver this trailer, like I said, I will do that. I have no problem maneuvering it. But I don't think we're going to have to do any maneuvering. I think we're just going to be able to pull right up. Go ahead and slow down here. And let's go and hit our parking brake, shift into neutral, and we'll go ahead and detach the trailer, and we'll finish up this job. All right, we had an excellent delivery on ethane from Tucson to Oxnard. I did not intend to do this job from the beginning. I had a second job picked out, or an initial job picked out, and I guess it disappeared while I was traveling to it. But we made $39,000. We got 1,500 XP. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and a comment. Consider subscribing to my channel. Hopefully this new audio thing I'm trying works out. It's going to take a little bit of fine tweaking here and there, so I apologize if there's any issues with it. But anyway, guys, again, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next American Truck Simulator. Take care.